Hello everyone, it's Tuesday and it's time for another 2-Minute Tuesday. So let's start the countdown and let's go. Today I wanted to talk about data migrations or data imports. Sometimes when you're moving to Dynamics 365 from an older implementation or from another CRM system, sometimes even proprietary, you will find yourselves trying to import data owned by people who are no longer with the company. That never fails to happen. Every time you're doing a migration from an older system, there's sales reps or salespeople reference on the data that are no longer with the organization, or they don't match any of the users that have been created in Dynamics 365, which makes you face a problem, which is you understand that in order for you to import the data, you're going to have to assign it to somebody. Somebody needs to own the data. So what typically happens and what most people do is that they create some sort of legacy owner field and they import all of the data owned by the administrator to later reassign the data to someone else. I like to have a different approach, and that's today's tip, which is I like to create teams, owner teams, with the names of the salespeople or the users who are no longer with the company. And I assign a security role to those teams, such as if those salespeople were still with the company. Something like salesperson, or in my case, one of the security roles that I have created that apply to coworkers or former coworkers of that person. So that way, when you import the data will be either owned by a user or will be owned by a team. Having it owned by a team allows you to assign all the records from that team to another owner. So after you import all the data, you can then navigate to the team and you will see a button that allows you to assign all the records or transfer ownership of all the records to a different user. So after all the data is in the system, you can then assign all of the data from one team or owned by a team, which again equals one person that is no longer with the company, and you assign that to the new user or the new owner of those records. And if there are so much data that button doesn't really allow you to assign everything without failing or without timing out, you can always do it with advanced find. You can do it on the old school way, or you can do it with a workflow, just run it against all the records and automatically assign them. There are several ways in which to do it, but I've always been a big fan of creating teams, owner teams, with the names of the users who are no longer in the system and import the data, matching it to those teams rather than importing them into a field like legacy owner. So try that next time. Let me know how it goes, and we'll see you next week.